recording, get the engine started, get the other camera put out, and we'll blow this pop stand. Had some beer and chips here real quick just to get some energy level up. Ran into another snafu. More boaters I had to wait for after the houseboat. So I just chose to wait for those guys to get clear. Then on top of that, I went to pump up the dinghy. The battery was dead, but the sound isn't working, and I have no idea why not. We will just film with what we got. Put my vest on before I go. Feel like I'm worn out and I haven't started yet. All right, that started. Tracking started. Just need to untie. Well, we're off, folks. Well, folks, it was a long, dragged-out morning, but we're underway. We've got some sun, so that's a good thing. Heading down lake for our first night out. I don't know where I'm going to go yet, but we're late in the day, so probably not too far. I started to say that my battery pump for the inflatable was dead, so I had to use the hand pump. It's a slow-going process with that. Yeah, there's a neat little airplane out here to the right. I don't know what that is. Looks like a home built. I don't know what it is. Three-bladed prop. Anyway, back to the pump. So I pumped up all the tubes up to, just so that it was inflated a little bit. I figured I'd put it in the water and recharge the pump on the boat and then later finish it. Meanwhile, I put a power brick that I carry with me, another spare, and I put that on the inflator, hoping that it would charge up enough that I could use it at least for part of it. And that turned out to be the case. I finished the tubes with the hand pump, then I went to electric, but that saved a lot of work not having to do that by hand. And now I'm charging the pump. Later on I can finish the job. So right now we're just going to look for a spot for tonight, see what we can find. As you can see, I put up the windshield so I can see better. I have to tie this take off on me. That line is just long enough. It's in the 60s temperature. I guess we'd call it mostly sunny or partly sunny. I'm not sure what way you'd call it, but there's a high, thin layer of clouds. But they got a lot of good information. Everybody said you're going to really enjoy the lake based on the terrain I was looking at as I came in yesterday. It looked very good. A lot of high terrain and rock. One thing that caught my ear was this guy said there's very few cabins. On my research, I thought I saw a lot more than what he's referring to, but comparatively, yes, there's no, most lakes these days are all built up. Here, check, less than 55% left in the battery. Okay, it went off, all right. So we're out of battery, so I'll go ahead and get that charged. Well, we're headed pretty much southeast, and that's what it appears the wind is. All right, let's go look and see. 119, it's south-southwest, it says here, only 1 mile an hour, but we have more like 5. 64 for the high, 50 degrees tonight. All right, we got one boat. All right, I think I have a spot picked out. I've been looking at the map here trying to figure out where we're going to go. I think I've got a spot, long, narrow, little, I'm not sure how wide it is. 3 or 4 boat lengths, I guess. So I don't know, it might be a bad place to get into, but we'll see. Left my binoculars at home, one of my most critical tools. Can't believe I did that. There should always be a pair on board. I don't know what I was thinking. I checked my checklist last night and it was not checked. I don't know what good a checklist does if you don't read it. I think I went over it. In fact, I circled it because I knew I had to get the binoculars. I could put red stars on either side. Maybe I'd have remembered then. I don't know. It's crazy. 85 feet. It's kind of a narrow place I've got to go through here. So I'm threading the needle, so to speak. I should probably turn you off until we get closer. Okay, close the screen and head in. Worn out. We will try it. Speed it up initially here. It's not that deep. Kind of a canyon is what it is, but I don't know what the side terrain is until we get in there. I can see there's some cliffs. We'll swing over by the side here and kind of mosey our way in. Hopefully the cameras and mics all have enough charge. I'm finding they just don't hold a long enough charge a lot of the times. Run out of battery too many times. I'm really, really tired. Didn't sleep real well. I don't know if that fall had anything to do with it, but it didn't seem like it. I think it's just that stop and go since early this morning. Until you get out on the water where you can get some peace and quiet, you really don't have a sense of, can't really relax. Once the boat's in the water and I have everything ready to go, it tends to be much more relaxing. If we find a really good spot in here, then might stay a couple nights. Hopefully there are no cabins. There's places where you can pull in, I can see that. If I want to pull in, I've already seen a couple that look like they might be campgrounds. There's shallow water on the end, but I figure that's, an option for seeing some wildlife if I stay 2 days. Not hungry, but I'm exhausted. Kind of ache. It's deep in between, so it might be tough to anchor in here unless I go up farther. It gets real narrow right in here. You can see straight ahead there that long narrow slot. Looks like some deadheads in there too. Real slow at this point. But it says it's plenty deep, so I see deadheads, so if I anchor I'm going to probably have to put out a trip on the anchor. So, yeah, I like the terrain. Neat. Yeah, there's rocks in there for sure. Yeah, there's places, potential to anchor or tie. I'm looking for a tie. Looks like sand almost there, sand beach. See what looks like a dock. If that's the case, I may have to go back. I'm missing my binoculars, that's for sure. I'm just gonna look at this thing. It may be too shallow, but $13 feet. $11 feet. Good tie up there. But I think I'm gonna anchor. I can't go too much further. Relatively flat bottom here. Kind of the end of our path. All right, I think we'll just anchor in here. I'm just looking at spots that, could possibly tie up, but I'm not seeing anything overly good. There was something back there that interested me, but not enough to bother. So I think what we'll do is just anchor tonight. This is a fairly flat area. I don't know if I need to use, I don't see any objects on the bottom, so. Good right there. It's about 10 feet, so we'll go with 50 feet initially here and get it laying out first. That's 40 as the markers. All right, that's 50. So we'll try that off and back it down here first. See what we got. Should be catching. it in gear. Make sure it's down. No, I don't think it's holding. No, it's not holding. Well, I don't know what that's about. We'll have to pull it up and see. See what we got. It may be just too mucky. We'll just put it on the deck until we see what we got. But, well, that doesn't bode real well. So we'll try going back. This is a drainage area, so it's probably too much mud coming down the. So we'll just go a little further downstream. Maybe we'll get better bottom. Too close to the flow, and it tend to get more mud. Here comes a boat, fishing boat too. And figure I'd run into the boats back here. Should I anchor or what should I do here? I've kind of had enough looking around here. So I guess what I could do is go down in the middle. See if it's a little better down there. Yeah, that's just a little bit too muddy up there, I think. So I'll take this next wide spot before the narrows. Howdy.
Nice fish down here.
I haven't been fishing, no. I haven't fished here.
Looking for what kind of bait to use.
I'm just looking for something to anchor here, right, for the night. Too muddy up there, it just dragged the anchor, so got to go back. All right, maybe go back through. It seems like a weird place to be parked, though. Turned out this little hole is not very good. Problem with mud, poor bottom. I might have been able to try another set there, but I don't feel like it. So I'm gonna go down here and see what I can see. Go back out through the narrows. Yeah, I lost one of the cameras, so we'll probably lose the other one here shortly. I decided to go outside the inlet to a small island group that looks like it has potential. We're heading to that small island off to port. The shoreline looks like it's pretty good. Okay, let's tie it up. We'll tie up the starboard guy first. Time to shut her down and wrap things up.